And Ekavira Prabhu is going to pull up the text. Let's see. Okay. So text 29. Okay. Shri Devakuvacha Rama Rama Pramet Yatman Krishna Yogeshwareshvara Vedaham Vam Vishvafrijam Ishvara Adipurusho. Synonyms. Shri Devaki Uvacha. Shri Devaki said, Rama, 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 oh Rama, Rama, Aprameya Atma, oh immeasurable super soul, Krishna, oh Krishna, Yogeshvara, the Yogeshvara of the masters of Holistic Yoga, Ishvara, oh master, Veda, no, Aham, I, Vam, you both, Vishva of the universe, Srijam of the creators, Ishvaro, the lords, Adi, original, Puru, Adi, Adi, Purusha, Adi, original, Purusha, the two personalities. Translation.
That's Adi, an angel.
Isn't it amazing? Shri Devaki said, Oh Rama, Rama, immeasurable super soul, oh Krishna, Lord of all masters of yoga, I know that you are the ultimate rulers of all universal creators, the primeval personality of Godhead. Personalities. This is the next text. I will just read the translation. Taking birth from me, you have now descended to this world in order to kill those kings whose good qualities have been destroyed by the present age, and who thus defy the authority of revealed scriptures and burden the earth. And the last text, 31. O soul of all that be, the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe are all carried out. Actually, this is the verse that we're going to read, share. Ekavira will share. So let me just do the Sanskrit. Yajyam sham shamsha bhagena vishvopati la yodaya bhavanti kila vishvatmams tam tadyaham gatim gata. And the synonyms, Yashya, who's Hamsa of the expansion, Hamsa of the expansion, Hamsa of the expansion, Bhagena, by a part, Vishva of the universe, Utpati, the generation, Laya, the solution, Udaya, the prosperity, Bhavanti, arise, Kila, indeed, Vishva Atman, O soul of all that be, Tat, to him, 12, or 12, 12, yourself, 12, 12. Adya, today, aham, I, gatim, for shelter, gata, come. O soul of all that be, the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe are all carried out by a fraction of an expansion of your expansion. Today, I have come to take shelter of you, the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada's purport. You want to read it? Yes.
Disciples purport.
Oh, no, yes, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Sridhar Swami explains this verse as follows. The Lord of Vaikuntha Narayan is but one expansion of Sri Krishna. Mahavishnu, the first creator, is Lord Narayan's expansion. The total material energy emanates from Mahavishnu's glands, and of that total material energy, the three modes of nature are divided portions. Thus, it is Sri Krishna acting through his expansions who generates, sustains, and dissolves the universe.
Okay, dear devotees. Om Agana Shalakaya Chakshuramatamyena Tasmashi Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manodishtam Slapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Kamalam, Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam, Sahagana Raghunatam Pitam, Tam Sajivam, Sadvaitam Sadhutam, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padam, Sahagana Lalita, Shri Vishakam Vitamscha, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namosjate, Tapta Kanchana Gourangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sutadi, Pranamami Haripriya, Panchakalpatarubhyascha, Vipa Sindhubhya Eva Cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Vitinamani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaisatya Satani. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Vitinamani. Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shri Tatmane Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhaktivedanta Tinamani. Hari Hari. Erbo, so by the mercy of the wonderful Vaishnavas, the saintly devotees, and by the mercy of our spiritual master, we will try to share some small realizations. I will do these two verses really quickly, and Ekavira Prabhu will close us with text 31. So in text 29, Devaki is now approaching Krishna. And she's teaching us how to approach the Supreme Lord. So she's approaching in a mood of supplication. She's bowing to the Lord, and she's acknowledging who the Lord is. And of course, in acknowledging Krishna, there is no other way than to glorify him. And so here we see Devaki is glorifying the Lord. So she's sharing with him before she makes her request. So we know the story, right? The story is that she's going to request from Krishna for him to bring back her sons that were killed by Kamsa. And she's going to ask him to do this, for her, to reciprocate with her, to bring back the children, even though she Krishna is her son. However, Krishna is her son. However, in these verses, she's not thinking of Krishna as her son. She is that's not her meditation. Her meditation is in these three verses, is on who Krishna is. And so she starts out with sharing with him that he is the immeasurable super soul. And we all understand Krishna's immeasurable greatness. No one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because no one is equal to or higher than Krishna within the manifestation. So whether it's spiritual or material. And we learned that from Lord Brahma. When Narada Muni is inquiring from Brahma, you're not really the Supreme Lord. Who are you? And Brahma then explains to Narada who Krishna really, who he is in relationship to who Krishna is. She also says you're the Lord of all master of yoga. And so in a class from Srila Prabhupada, he's lecturing on this particular theme of Krishna being the master of yoga. And Prabhupada says, he explains that the connecting link between the soul and the super soul of the Supreme and the minute living entity, that is called yoga. So Prabhupada starts out, before he speaks about Krishna being the master of yoga, he explains what is yoga. And then he says, considering So who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogeshvara? He's the ultimate object of yoga. That's Krishna. Therefore, Krishna's name is Yogeshvara. And so here we see that Devaki knows. This is the main important point, I believe, in this verse here, that Devaki is aware of who Krishna is. And at the same time, she offers these words of acknowledgement with the utmost humility, knowing that she does have something to ask him. She also tells him that you're the ultimate ruler of all creation. And so when Krishna was instructing Lord Brahma, Brahma said, "It is I, the personality of Godhead, who existed before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead." So this is Krishna instructed Lord Brahma, but Lord Brahma could not understand who is Krishna. What happens? I'm in this darkness. Please, somebody help me. And so then the Lord instructed Lord Brahma. And he also said, "Oh Brahma, know that the universal elements, they enter the cosmos, and at the same time, they do not enter." So this is a little philosophical point here. "Similarly, I also exist within everything created, and at the same time, I'm outside of everything." So Krishna, he shares with Brahma who he is. So Brahma is aware. Brahma gets opportunity to share about Krishna. And we know that throughout the Bhagavatam, these very great saintly personalities are always speaking about who Brahma is, who Krishna is. And yes, who is the Lord? Who is the Supreme Lord? And Devaki's offering these prayers. And the last point she makes is, the last thing she says to Krishna is that you're the primeval personality of Godhead. And so we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests on me as pearls are strung on a thread. Me, Krishna." And one point I just wanted to make here is that when we see these great personalities that are offering prayers, Devaki is, of course, she's Krishna's mother. But at the same time, she's offering prayers as a regular person in one sense, teaching us how to offer these prayers to Krishna. And we see Queen Kunti, when she offers prayers, she offers in this same mood, this mood of saying to Krishna, I believe it's one of the verses that says, "You're the soul of all souls. You're that original person." And so these great personalities, they teach us how to approach the Lord. Okay, the next verse. This text 30 is taking birth from me. So now Devaki is sharing, okay, yes, you took birth from me, but you have descended into this world. You came into this world to kill these kings, because the age has deteriorated and the kings have also deteriorated. And the sages had prayed in the beginning of Dwapara Yuga. I think we have a verse where the sages prayed, yeah? Yeah, so she's approaching, she's sharing to Krishna that these kings, I know that you came to kill these kings. And there is a verse that explains this to us from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a beautiful verse that explains that the sages, they're praying, "Obeisance to you, O Supreme Lord Vasudeva, and to your forms of Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all obeisance unto you. O Lord Narayan, O Creator of the universe, best of all personalities, Master of this cosmos and original form of the universe, O Super Soul of all created entities, all homage unto you." So the sages are praying, and Jiva Goswami, he explains that Krishna, he appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga, and these prayers were offered by the sages from the very beginning of the age, from the beginning of Dwapara Yuga, because they were expecting Krishna's appearance. and they also wanted to glorify him. That's the mood, is acknowledging and glorifying who Krishna is. So this verse is referencing um, the age of Kali, and because it's the end of Dwapara, beginning of Kali, the sages, the kings have deteriorated, their consciousness have totally deteriorated, and we know that from learning about these different kings that were killed by Krishna. If we read the Krishna book, we read about some of these kings that just became um, just the very, very, very fallen due to being influenced by this age. So Prabhupada says in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he explains that the lowest of mankind in this age of Kali, they're lacking in character, and they're lacking in cleanliness and thoughtfulness in respect of the rules of regulations. They're bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord, and because of this, a neglect of the divine self-will, and with wrong principles, follow strange rules. And then he goes on about what happens to people. Well, these kings, so many of them, just starting with Kamsa, for example, how he, just in this mood of wanting, of I, me, mine, I must be the greatest person, that he, you know, committed all these atrocities towards his sister, his very own sister. And so, of course, because Krishna had to kill him. So there's so many kings like this that Krishna himself killed. So Devaki's acknowledged this, acknowledging why he came, and yeah, this mood of him. Ekavira. So this mood of again, just humbly praying to the Lord. You are so great. You've done all these wonderful, great things. And so therefore I'm approaching you because I do have a request. Okay, Kavira Prabhu.
So text number 31. O soul of souls, it's okay. O soul of all that be, the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe are all carried out by a fraction of an expansion of an expansion of your expansion. Today I've come to take shelter of you, the Supreme Lord. Wow, she's elaborating that this manifestation, all of this creation is taking place not only by you, but an expansion of your expansion. Like, so powerful. And so we see that there are many different expansions or incarnations of the Supreme Lord. There's the 6 types of incarnation: Purusha avatars, the Lila avatars, the Manvantara avatars, Guna avatars, Yuga avatars, what's the other? Shaktivesha avatars. And of course, in this verse, Devaki is referring to Krishna in his Swayamrupa, his original personality of Godhead, in Goloka, Vrindavan, as he then expands into so many different forms and eventually expands into the Purusha avatars. She's also, in this pastime in general, he's manifesting in the form of the Lila avatar. But as a Purusha avatar, of course, Sridhar Swami gives in the purport how the Lord expands into Narayan and then into the Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And these forms, it's explained that each of Krishna's expansions has the potency imbued with all of the potency of the Lord. And the analogy that's used, of course, is the lamp. When the lamp has its original fire, and then it's passed on to the other fire or other candle. And similarly, each one have the same type of reflection or emanation or potency. And so in the forms of Baladev and Krishna, what is the difference though? Of course, it's explained that in these particular forms, in the form of his Lila avatar, there is the opportunity for the devotees to engage in the loving and sweet pastimes, just like Devaki and Vasudeva are engaged in this sweet pastime of having the service of being the mother and father of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And so, but then what is the purpose of all this learning all of these different avatars? As in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna expresses to Arjuna that of all of the opulence, beauty, and glorious creation spring but from a spark of my splendor. And then what's the need? What's the need of all of this? All of this, what's the need of the detailed knowledge? All of the material creations spring from a spark of my splendor. And of course, Devaki is also elaborating in this way. All of this is manifesting from an expansion of the expansion of an expansion of you. And so what is the purpose? Well, Baladev Vijabhushan expresses in one verse that from Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power. And by Krishna's partial expansions, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is worshipable. And so all of these different illuminations, these different descriptions of the Lord and how he manifests in so many different incarnations is to help us to understand that Krishna, this reality the beautiful, that Krishna is Vibhu and we are Anu. He is great and we are just minute, very minute. And so therefore, it helps us to understand and take the mood of subordination. And so as Krishna expands into his different avatars, he expands into, I wanted to touch upon how Krishna expands through his devotees, and he's expanding, he's actually making himself available through the descriptions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, through the descriptions, particularly in this verse of Devaki, and he's also through this example, he's coming forth even in this pastime through the womb of his devotee, Devaki. And this is one of the many beautiful aspects in how Krishna actually manifests himself and how he has love for all of his living entities, and he makes himself available. And so we can actually be in the search for Krishna to see how he's manifesting in that particular verse that we referred to in the Bhagavad Gita. He's going through the series of how he's manifested and can manifest, or it is manifest, and how we can see him in his vibhutis, his many different forms. And in the Bhagavad Gita, he's expressing that. And so how do we actually see Krishna? How can we see Krishna? And I was just thinking about, being in Vrindavan, Braj Bhumi, and in Govardhan, and reflecting on Satyanandana Maharaj and Burjan Prabhu speaking about the saints and sages, the Brijabasis, and how they are constantly, to this day, in search of Krishna through the fields and the forests of Vrindavan. And they're in this constant search. And so I was just thinking about, like, man, these devotees, they're here with Krishna and they're in the search. What is my position? What is my position? How is this? And I had this experience yesterday. Yesterday was Easter Sunday. And I was riding, going to get a contractor, speak to a contractor. And as I was riding down the roads, one of the back roads in Port Royal, outside of Port Royal, actually, there was this person walking along the side of the road. And in this area, we have people that, go out on their walks and everything. And so I passed by, and as I was passing by, he looked a little bit disheveled. And so I kept going. I went to the contractor, and then I turned around, I came back, and then I saw that he was still walking. And I said, let me offer him a ride. And so I turned around and came back, and I said, are you okay? Do you need a ride? And he said, no, I'm just right up the road here. And he had a long beard, and yeah, I won't go into so much detail of how he actually, his appearance, but it was someone that many people may be apprehensive to pick up. So anyway, I said, okay, you're not that far. You sure you don't want to ride? I said, no, I'm okay. He said, but the Lord stopped you for some reason. And I said, yes, he actually did. So we could reflect on the beautiful day that the Lord has made. And then I said, Happy Ascension Day. And he said, oh, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And he raised his hands up in the air. And as he looked up, I saw the sun just shining off of his face and his beard. And I just thought of, this picture that is painting of Michelangelo of his of Jesus. And it just helped me to reflect. It was like, just see, how Krishna manifests and helped me to remember one of his Shaktivesha avatars on his neck. And so this was something that was really relevant to me in regards to the verse today, and how Krishna can manifest in so many different ways if we're actually in search and remain in search of it. And so Devaki, and then we'll end, she she calls out to Krishna right there. She calls, oh, Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna.
And so one of the ways in which we actually have the opportunity to bring forth, to actually associate, to remember Krishna is in his beautiful manifestation and how he makes himself available to each and every one of us in the form of his holy name. And Gopal Guru, in a couple of verses of his explanation or meaning of the Maha Mantra, he expresses, oh, Hari, Hari, capture my mind with the sweetness of your name, form, and pastimes. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, send me the association of your devotees who will purify my mind through instructions about your devotional service. And oh, Krishna, give me unflinching faith in your name, form, qualities, and pastimes. And Krishna, Krishna, please give me a taste of your names. Make me worthy to engage in your service, and order me personally in the service, however you wish me to perform. So just a couple of verses there.
Yay, thank you so much, Ekavira Prabhu. Thank you for being here with me today. And it's one last thing I just wanted to mention is we also get a chance to see Krishna in the form of his cows. Krishna chooses, the whole week makes himself present too. But somehow or other, we have the great fortune of being able to see Krishna's cows here in Gitanagari. And Ekavira Prabhu yesterday was with the cows as they came out of the Goshala, the barn, for the first time since the winter. And so when they're let out, it's a big celebration. Everybody comes out there too. Everybody, all the devotees, they go out there to welcome the cows. So we get to physically see Krishna's manifestation in the form of his loving cows here in Gitanagari. So,
and you should just see these cows when they come out into the field. They are so joyful, kicking up their hind legs and running around the fields. So everyone should experience that.
We welcome you.
Yes.
And we see Bhima's hand is up.
Harbo Bhima Prabhu.
And the horses. Haribo.
Haribo, Ekavira Prabhu, and Vraja Lila Prabhujini. It's always such a sweet thing. It's like all of a sudden you're searching through the cabinets for something and you come upon a jar of honey. And that's kind of like your classes. And you two talking together in such synchronicity. Two hearts as one. But I would like speaking about the heart. We have this thing searching for Krishna here and there, going over to India, walking the land, the Holy Land, searching. So can you balance that with the idea that the musk deer searches the world over for the source of its scent coming from itself? So when we hear these pastimes, isn't not every one of those pastimes reflective of what's going on when we turn to Krishna, and then Krishna enacting the Leela within ourselves, whether it's killing the demons, that each one representing a person, a part of our personality, a part of our false ego that's in the way of developing the 26 qualities of a devotee? Isn't he the one that leaves us in the Christian vernacular, in the dark night of the soul? We don't see him, we're not getting bliss, our service has become dry, we're noticing some things go on. Doesn't he leave us in order for us to dig deeper down within ourselves to find him there? Because we're paying too much attention to whether our service is sweet or whether we feel at any given time close to Krishna. Can you speak to this?
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Your inquiry is filled with realizations, and and you could speak upon this for much more than you actually spoke, and more qualified to speak upon it than I. However, yes, that's exactly the case. And you referred to the musk deer. The musk deer is a constant search for that beautiful experience, that through the nostrils, the smell, the musk smell, not realizing that aroma, that sweet aroma is coming from inside. And so therefore there is the constant search externally by conditioned souls looking for that sweet interaction, sweet aroma with the Lord. And you're expressing that expressions that the Lord is there with us. And Devaki points that out also, speaking of all souls, O soul of all that be, you're there dwelling in the expansion as the Lord in the heart of each and every entity. So that which we search for externally, that person that we search for externally is there with us at all times, at any point in time. And so therefore, he manifests externally through the sound vibration, through the different Shaktivesha avatars, to help remind us that he's always present with us. You want to share anything over the guys?
No, I mean, of course, the Lord reminds us through his devotees. That's so
like
important.
you, Prabhu.
Yeah, through his devotees, yeah. I mean, I've always experienced that when I go through periods of challenges, on the path, because even though bhakti is explained to be easy, inside of us is, as Krishna says, give you remembrance and forgetfulness. So at times when I find myself maybe forgetting the Lord, even though I don't completely forget, but I'm distracted in some way, I find that the devotees help to remind me and And I get reminded that the Lord is there within my heart. And if I turn to the Lord, or one of the favorite things that I do is when I'm going through some challenges where I'm maybe forgetting the Lord somewhat, I write a letter to my spiritual master and I put it to his, we have a chair, we have a seat for him here. And I put this letter to him. So when things get beyond my understanding or my capacity to navigate, I just write him a letter and I'm like, okay, I'm putting this to your lotus feet. and and I've always seen that when I do that, within days, there's some reciprocation. This is true. This is truthful. I'm sharing this. Um, yeah, it's always some reciprocation. So I always have that guidance, and so I'm never lost. We're never lost because we all have that guidance. Prabhupada is there. Prabhupada is there. Its representatives are there. And they're reminding us internally always, like you said, Bhima Prabhu. So thank you for sharing that.
I had one quick question. Is the dichotomy between Krishna and his expansions, including the Paramatma, is that not somewhat a way of which we separate ourselves from Krishna by thinking, oh, this is an avatar, or this is a representative, or this is, rather than something that happens, like you said, the reciprocation, it happens because you're prayed to your spiritual master, which is, sort of like a way to, reach out through someone who definitely has Krishna's phone number. And then Krishna reciprocates in his magical way. That's how I learned it. I couldn't hold on to scripture at the time. I had too much philosophy under my belt, so it was really tough. It gets in the way. So, but the service itself, when we engage and lose ourselves in service for the sake of service, somehow this reciprocation happens on a regular basis. But if we think that something's happening or we're being informed by Paramatma, isn't that a disservice to our intimate connection with Krishna himself? Can we not think of the Paramatma as Krishna?
Okay.
If I'm hearing you correctly, Bhima Prabhu, the Paramatma is Krishna in our hearts, right? The Lord manifests in all these different features or these different manifestations simply to give us opportunities in how to approach him. Yeah, I'm with you with that. Sometimes the philosophy can be a little overwhelming, especially content praise like this, right? How am I to understand you being like, for example, being in a woman's body? Sometimes the philosophy is like, woo, a little on the heavy on the top. However, the Lord is within the heart to give us remembrance. And so what I'm hearing you say is about the separation. So I was thinking of Ekavira Prabhu's story and this man that he saw yesterday. It's the first time I'm hearing the story. I'm just hearing it now, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. I think it's that he didn't see a separation of any sort. He just saw someone, and he could understand that's a spirit soul, and he reached out, and by him having that understanding that this is a spirit soul, he's not his body. How can I help? How can I serve? What can I do? So devotional service, of course, that's our foundation. Without having a consciousness of offering service, it's very difficult, I believe, to understand anything about the Lord at all, even the Lord within the heart. Because the Lord manifests in the heart to help us to understand how to serve, starting with serving ourselves. If we can't serve ourselves, in terms of reciprocating with our unfoldment at the different stages of our unfoldment, then it will be difficult really to serve others, because we might want to serve others at a stage of unfoldment where we're not, and that can be detrimental for us.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I was hearing Srila Prabhupada expressing about Krishna and it being in communication with Krishna. And he was expressing, of course, that one can be in communication with Krishna constantly. He said, because Krishna is hidden to the non-devotees, but through the devotees, Krishna is constantly communicating. And of course, he expresses who is a devotee, that person who is 100% and engaged and thinking of Krishna constantly. Without that devotee, Krishna is in constant communication through the Lord in the heart. And so that's it at this point in time in our, our unfoldment. Of course, we understand that these personalities, intimate personalities, are of a different category when they're engaged in these leelas, especially in, yes, yeah, the leelas.
Yeah, like David Key, she had the Adhikar, she's like, that's my son. And at the same time, I'm gonna approach him, and I'm gonna let him know, yeah, I know that you're God. I know you're the supreme personality of Godhead, but I have a request. And so it's quite interesting to watch these kind of dynamics and spirit from the spiritual realm, from the more transcendental realm, and to see how do they play out in terms of just us, at least in terms of myself being a person that's endeavoring to learn to approach the Lord. And it definitely requires a mood of humility, a mood of supplication, and a word you used.
We didn't use surrender.
Well, of course, surrender is always there, right? Gotta surrender.
What say you, Adi Purush Prabhu?
Yes.
Unmute.
Hi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good morning. We're delighting, basking in hearing you just in such a relaxed and natural way, glorifying the Lord. And there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that says that, people respond to the hearing the glories of the Lord in different ways. Sometimes in class, you can see people go, oh, I've heard it before, or, what are we doing? But actually this is like normal and natural and wonderful. And we're very grateful. The creator is about to be greeted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vraja Lila and Ekavira Prabhu's wonderful class. Wonderful answers.
You, oh, giver of gifts. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Darshan time. If you can, please turn on your cameras. It's wonderful to be seen by the Lord and by the devotees. We want to see your Paramatma specifically today.
Let us speak about spiritual mastery, the only way you can continue to feel emotions in service. I bow down to receive great honor and grace.
Hare Krishna, welcome to the Afterglow. It's so nice seeing your bright faces. Murari Gupta Prabhu, nice seeing you. Hare Krishna. Sati Devi, we want to see him. Zoom in. Yes, there he is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Murari
Hi,
Gupta.
Prabhu. Hi,
Thank
Mason.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, very nice seeing you, Prabhu. Thank you for these wonderful classes. My wife really enjoys them. I haven't been able to attend very much because I'm sick, but I start my immunotherapy, so we're moving right along.
You're such a sincere Vaishnava, such a humble devotee. Murari Gupta. Nice seeing you, Prabhu. Thank you, Sati.
Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna. Vraja Lila, Ekavira Prabhus, do you have a few minutes to stay for the Afterglow? We may have some burning questions.
We're your servants, whatever you request.
Jai. Nice. Okay, would anyone like to ask a burning question? Pertinent question? In the right mood?
In the meantime, when anyone is thinking, I just go through the chat, and Pope Francis leaving on Easter Monday. Kamaniya Devi. Jamuna, thank you so much. I have to go. Krishna
Krishna Gauda. That's Krishna Gauda.
Krishna Gaudiya. Self-knowledge, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. Mother is mother of all Vidya. Vidya knowledge, yeah. So wonderful to have Ekavira. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Kamania. Ekavira is always wonderful to have Ekavira. Joy be here. That is really beautiful, Mike. Thank you, Prabhu. Kamania, such heartfelt, thoughtful, and helpful. You want to read? Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for being here. Thank you, dear devotees, for your darshan. Okay. If anybody's thinking how to be in the mood of Devaki.
Thank you all for your comments.
We have Devaki Priti here. Honorable Devaki Priti.
Yeah, Devaki should share a reflection.
Yeah.
You
What's
should
her
leave
reflection?
up to her name. Yes, Devaki, go ahead.
Hi, Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Mata and Ekavira, for a wonderful class. So happy to be here. I just appreciated in the verses, like, just how we, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, how we get such wonderful examples of how to connect with the Lord, how to pray, how to, the mood that we should have. So I would like to be praying more. So I feel like this is a good example today of how to be more in that mood as a devotee, of how to pray to Krishna, pray to the spiritual master. So I'm grateful for both of you helping us see from their example how we can also do that in our own lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Devaki Priti.
Thank you. Yeah, pray more. Such a perfect takeaway, Devaki Priti. Thank you. Sadhvi Didi has her hand up.
Hare Krishna, and thank you very, very much for today's class. I just wonder, is there any connection between the 8 Vasus and the 8 children of Devaki?
And Vasudev Prabhu from the Bhakti Center.
Vasudev Prabhu from the Bhakti Center. He's here. You would like to answer that question? Where's
He left.
Vasudev
He
Prabhu?
left. But Vasudev Prabhu messaged me privately saying that he admires the love and exchange between Bhima Prabhu and Ekavira Prabhu. He can see the brotherhood there.
Of course.
It's because Bhima is so kind.
But back to, yes, well, here's Bhima. Back to the 8 Vasus. Yes, there is a connection. However, to elaborate on that connection, what about you, Prabhu? Where am I looking? You see here, Venu? No, just
No,
okay.
I thought so.
Well, Ananda Bihari, why don't you elaborate?
8 Vasus, that's above my 10. As soon as I hear 10 Vasus or what's the other one? Quadruple form, as soon as I hear those things, I pretend that I'm humble. But let's see, maybe let's see, who's the pundit here?
What I meant is that because the 8 Vasus, the 8th one was Bhishma, right?
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Mother. Keep talking so we can get our
So
thoughts together.
is there any connection with that 8th child to be born and the 8th child was born by Devaki?
Yeah, I know those 8 children, they have a backstory for sure. And they were all great liberated souls. So we're looking to see if we have an answer for you. I saw all those brahmacharis from Chopati. Maybe they're not here right now.
They were in the temple room and they're greeting the deities, chanting Govindam prayers.
Okay.
Did I see Jagannath Priya Prabhu? Is he there?
He was in the class in the temple room, but they are greeting the deities. They're chanting,
So
and we are on our own.
We have the 8 Vasus here. Here, a detailed look at the 8 Vasus. However, the 8 Vasus, a group of deities. It doesn't say that they are connected in any way. But that's something that we need to research more, Mother. And thank you so much for that question, because that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. We can always go deeper and learn more. And so for us, this is a wonderful opportunity for us to understand more about this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. It's so beautiful how you're going deeper.
Yes, Advi Didi is serious.
Yes, it's nice to understand these things. Yeah. Thank you.
We see Mathuranath Prabhu unmuted himself. Would you like to speak, Mathuranath?
Oh, yes, Mathuranath Prabhu. Chopati, save us. Chopati, please. Harbo.
I had a question about, we're talking about approaching the Lord, and something I've experienced in my life is maybe not approaching the Lord so authentically, maybe approaching the Lord from a place that I think I should be from, where I think I should be, instead of really where I'm at.
Mm.
And so it's like, and just if we're doing that in our relationships where with each other, somebody can't really meet me where I'm at. Somebody can't really get me. And Krishna says he reciprocates according to, how we approach him. So how to really be more authentic in our relationship with Krishna? How do we really get in tune with where I'm really at? What are my attachments? What are my anarthas? What do I really need to be approaching? I'm so far from pure devotion, and if I'm asking for pure devotion, but I'm not just trying to get over being, attached to this, that, or the other thing. Yeah, that's my question.
I've got an answer.
Authenticity and with Krishna.
That's such a real and beautiful question, Mathuranath Prabhu. I believe we're all, wanting to unfold to become truly authentic with the Lord. And thank you so much for that question. yeah, that's something that I believe every devotee, all of us, each and every one of us, it's important to be aware and to be fixed in where we are in our practice, how much attention are we giving to our practice. I was just reading this wonderful book. Actually, I do a book reading from His Holiness Bhaktitirtha Swami, and this book is called Reflections on Sacred Teachings, and it is volume 6, Radha Sunya, Missing Mercy. And what he's speaking exactly about that, authenticity and how to avoid this Radha Sunya, how to get the mercy of Radharani. One of the things he says is aparad. And one of the realizations I got as I was reading this book is if we're not aware of our internal emotions, just even on the levels where we're at now, oftentimes what we do is we commit offenses amongst each other because we're not able to address, our different emotions that may be emerging because of where we are, where we may be in our Krishna consciousness, right? So maybe for someone, anger, just take that emotion, for example, that anger could be lying in a person and not assisting them to be authentic in their practice. However, Krishna, because he's the cause of all causes and the Supreme Lord, he does understand, where we are, and he definitely sends us help constantly. At the same time, we got to meet him halfway with how we address ourselves. I believe that's what Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is saying in this book, is that if we want to become free from offenses, then it is important to address where we are in our spiritual unfoldment and to be authentic with where we are and not to pretend. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about show bottle pretense. So to not pretend that we are more evolved than we really are. Yeah, this is so important. I see a couple of hands, so I know the devotees have a lot to say on this. We have Krishna Kumari and we have Bhima. Krishna Kumari is always how can I say, she's very in tune to her emotions and very in tune to the unfolding of Krishna consciousness within herself, and she's very astute with being aware of others. So Krishna Kumar, would you like to share something? And then Bhima Prabhu will close us out.
I have so much love for you and Ekavira, all the devotees here. Just, all the personal relationships are so important. They're so important to our bhakti and to our process. I was just thinking in this conversation about this question is that every moment we're in a different headspace every single moment. So in these relationships you might have with a family member, when they walk in the room and they start asking you something, they don't know where you're at that moment, right? And it could be like, you could totally show up, or you could be like, hey, I'm somewhere else. And so I was thinking like that with Krishna. It's like, it is a process. It's not a destination. So like every moment we have an opportunity to be real, to show up. And then, some moments we might be struggling more, and it's not so finite, we're in the flow. And I think we just all have to be easy with ourselves and with each other, because at any moment someone could think of Krishna and go right to his lotus feet, and Sister Radharani. And any moment we could be sitting on the floor feeling bad for ourselves or something like that. So anyway, I just love being with you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna Kumari. Thank you. I'll share a quick story. One time I was in India, and I went to a class. I'm sure Ekavira Prabhu was there also. We went to this class of His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. And so they had built this stage for him to sit on. And Jayadvaita Swami, he's just like, okay, he's not into all these external things. So anyway, they built this big stage and they put him on a big seat. And he started his class by saying, so I'm up here and you're down there. Because, you did have to look up on this dais, this big thing they built for him. He says, there is something I want to let you know. I can fall from here and be down there where you are. And I just want you all to remember that. Now, that stuck with me, that he was so humble to express that, yeah, I'm up here, but that doesn't really mean, that I can't be down there. Right. And so I believe getting Radharani's mercy is to understand, as Devaki is praying, and even though she has a request from Krishna, she's putting herself in that position where she is first addressing Krishna with such humility and acknowledging Krishna with such humility. And so no matter where we are in our development in Krishna conscious, Matharanat Prabhu, I believe if we have that kind of humility to be able to say, Krishna, I'm not anywhere close to being authentic. And I believe what you're saying is so important, to always think we're not authentic. That was Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's mood. That's right, not Maharaj's mood. They're always in that mood of not authentic. I don't think anyone would ever say they're authentic, right? However, it is definitely, I believe, a disciple's what's the word? How we reciprocate with our spiritual master. I believe a disciple's reciprocation with the spiritual master is to pray to the spiritual master to become more authentic. At the same time, thinking I'm not authentic. So that's kind of a little challenge, but that's just what I guess we've learned. And now, Ekavira Prabhu, can you please get Bhima? And then we'll.
Yeah. And while Bhima is coming, I'll just share something also. One point I wanted to make was that, this Krishna consciousness movement is not ordinary. By no means. It's not ordinary. And in this process, it's important to not bring forth our tendency of impersonalism into personalism. And so what I mean by that, we know the parameters. We know that, the Vaishnava acharyas give our standard for prayers and how to approach the Lord. And we see that. And they give these parameters in helping us to understand how we approach the Lord in a way that is favorable for devotional service. And so therefore, that is our parameter. At the same time, we may not be on the same level of Vaishnava acharyas. No. And some devotees may be on that level. I'm not. And so therefore, Krishna, that's what's the saying, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dana Pran. Krishna is my life and soul. He's my mother, my father. And how do you approach your mother and your father? Whatever is happening with you, you have a conversation with them if you have a loving relationship. And so therefore, it's kind of impersonal to actually not reveal our hearts to our mother and father. It's kind of impersonal. And so therefore, we may not have the adhikar of these great devotees, but we approach the Lord based upon our adhikar. We approach the Lord because it's important to approach like Queen Kunti, to approach the Lord with feeling, with this feeling, this desire, this longing. No, Krishna, I am not on this platform of engaging in pure devotional service, but I want to please you. So please help me. Please help me where I am today at this point in time. Please help me unfold in a way that's pleasing unto you and the Guru. I'm sorry, Bhima Prabhu. I see you there waiting patiently. I'm sorry I didn't.
No, I was
Did you
fasting.
see him doing pull-ups in class? Are you trying to be authentic? Authentic, Bhima Prabhu? Is that how
No,
you interpret?
can you see what this is? It's a bar. I'm trying to get out of jail here. See, I'm in jail right now, and I was trying to bend the metal, and it won't bend. This is the feeling we have to have in order for authenticity. We have to realize where we're at. There's nothing that will quickly make us more authentic than climbing into a foxhole because we went to war for Krishna's sake. We always have to remember that drop of water upon a lotus leaf is our everyday. As a person who is somewhat old, and dealing at all times with creatures that can kill you in a moment if they get spooked over a plastic bag, what to speak of what everybody else goes through when you have deaths in your family or of friends, or we just take a zoom out and look at the whole world itself. We have to always pay attention that this is not our world and this is not our body. It's such a basic thing. We are not these bodies. Upadi is one thing. Serving according to our adhikar, according to our alignment, is necessary. You can't expect a cow to do a horse's job or a horse to do the cow's job. But I think that if we ask Krishna to let the calamities come again and again, like for real, and continue to ask that, and he's going to say, really? You really want to do that? And that's how you expedite your authenticity, because he will come after every inauthentic thing within you. And he'll do it in the lonely hours, and he'll do it through people that you never thought it would come through. But if you're willing to learn, Krishna's willing to teach. And you can do it through scripture, and you can do it by dancing in kirtan, by becoming attracted to the wonderful feeling of the love that's shared within kirtan. And you can do it in the lonely hours of the morning while you're chanting, saying, Krishna, bring it on. And when he brings it on, because he's going to answer your prayer, if that's the prayer, then you better get ready to rumble. And you better get ready for what real authenticity means. It means carrying a cross. It means sacrificing. And it also means pain. And I think we should all welcome that. We should all welcome that, because after all, this is where we're at. And each one of these bars represents something that has to come down for us to have true freedom. Anyways, I'm pretending I'm somebody I'm not. This is just what I've read. Hare Krishna.
So for everyone, Bhima's sweetness comes from him being a caregiver of horses. The horses have opened his heart wide open. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. And I think
I guess follow up on Bhima's point that he made. I remember hearing from Vraja Prabhu and him offering prayers to Govardhan, and he was expressing in the mood of Queen Kunti. At the same time, he ended it with the prayer with the caveat. However, Krishna, you know my qualities, so please do so gently. Please free me from these encumbrances, but please do so gently.
on that prayer, we can end. And Sadhvi Devi, the Lord in the heart is Paramatma. That's the Lord's name.
You can always pray, hit me with your best shot. That's a lot more quicker than treat me gently. Lord
true.
Chaitanya said, you can handle me roughly, you can stomp on me, you can do all those things. Nothing gets you quicker to the sweetness.
Yeah, and you're definitely pointing out something very important, and also the adhikar. Weem is pointing out his adhikar, one that wants the mercy of the Lord, however the Lord chooses to give it, and we have to be ready. Really,
yeah.
That's a part of our authenticity and sincerity.
Okay,
you.
my Bhakti Center, Prabhu.
Okay. I'm Bhakti Center Das.
Bhakti Center Das Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful class, wonderful discussion during the afterglow, wonderful contributions to your devotees. Thank you. Wonderful faces. Even if you didn't say anything, just seeing you is very uplifting. Gregory, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Srimad Bhagavatam never ends, never stops. Jump back in, especially when you feel like you're in Maya.
Prabhu, sorry, I just want to interrupt 1 minute just to thank Sati Devi for caring for her husband. They live in the hospital. And yes, we because we know each other personally and we try to stay in contact with each other. However, I just want to thank you. It is the greatest service that you're doing to care for your husband and being present while he's going through this critical time in his life. Thank you. And thank you, Adipurusha Prabhu, for being our foundation. Thank you very much.
Who's your foundation,
Prabhupada.
Adipusha? Prabhupada, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Radhe, Haribo, Jai Radhe.